Yes.
Good. Do you see me?
Yes. Thank you.
Good. Good. Hi. Thank you. It's later for you. What is it? 5 for you?
No, it's 9:30 actually. I'm in India. Yeah.
Oh, you're in
India.
India.
Wow.
Oh. Oh, okay. I thought you were based in the Netherlands. Okay. So you live in India?
Yes. Yes. I've moved to India. I am from the Netherlands, and my family and my daughter is in the Netherlands. But I go there often. But
Oh, okay. I
residing
wasn't.
in India.
Okay. Because I knew what I read about you. I knew that you had a staff there, but I didn't know that you were
Right.
actually there. Because I've worked with a number of other companies where they have Indian staff, but they live in other parts of the world. As a matter of
Right.
As a matter of fact, we have it's called FastBots.ai, and they're an academic partnership. So they're working with us, and as a matter of fact, he just came yesterday to our class, and he's based in London, but all his developers are in India. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So it's one of the ways that I managed to still develop things here excuse me, for a reasonable for reasonable cost.
yeah, it is reasonable. So what has been? We were very impressed by your Pixie Bot, and how well it did the description. What I liked about it, it had a sense of humor almost, and it really is so different rather than just being a static AI generated text and being very factual. I liked how many times even it became flowery. We almost can learn from it. A way to converse.
There are mixed feelings about
Really?
that. Some people don't like it at all.
Really?
I've made it so that you can switch it on or off
But you can have different voice models, no?
Right.
You can have. I just tried out the other ones, and it was trying to be. I took something in my where I was working, and it said it had a cozy environment. It didn't say, you should clean up, and it's too messy.
It's usually quite diplomatic, yeah.
Yeah, it was very diplomatic. Where I felt, I looked around and I said, I didn't know I had so much clutter. But it didn't say that. It just said it had a cozy environment. That was good. Okay, so I wanted to introduce you. I'll have one of my colleagues. He's in the background. Maybe if he has any question, he'll join us.
You can say just hi.
Hi. Can you see? Here
Hi.
he is.
Hello.
So he'll be coming in. He's another professor. So he'll be coming in and out and asking some questions. Sometimes he'll whisper in my ear, and I'll do it as well. But what I wanted is an introduction to let you know what we do with a number of companies. As you can imagine, what I do, I have many classes, some in class, some hybrid, and I also have a number of seminars where I do it strictly online. And what I always do is we start off with recording. We record within Zoom, and we also, I don't know if you know that, Zoom, if you have enterprise version, you can record within Zoom to a YouTube channel. Are you aware of that?
Okay. No.
Yeah, so what we do is what I do, and I keep my channels, sometimes I just keep some of my channels private, but it's just a way for my guest speakers to know about it. Some of them say, oh, can we get a copy? So I'll send them the link. They can do whatever they want. What we want to do is promote companies. If I make any mistakes or anything like that, I want you to correct me, because I think sometimes people review products and they really don't know much about the products, and they'll write things that are erroneous, and then you have to correct them. And this is it. And we're looking for, many times, I'm a professor of business technology. I also do health informatics. I work with medical school, and as a matter of fact, We even have some things where we do rehabilitation. And I work with a number of companies throughout the world and thinking about what we call an academic partnership, where we like to try out your products, but also to think about how we can help you.
We also
Sometimes what we do, for instance, our students can be like a focus group for you, reviewing something in beta, giving you feedback. Sometimes that target audience on that, we see how we can help as well. So we do that for a number of companies. We've done it for instance, I have an academic relationship with Wix. I give them my mentor advice to Wix, W-I-X. They come in and they give the students the business plan. They come in and talk to the students, get feedback from them, and the students for their projects can have that business plan where they can upgrade to their business plan, get domain names free, and then it expires after the semester is over. The same thing with FastBots. They're a chatbot where he's kicked on improving. We give him ideas on how he should be improving. As a matter of fact, he's one of the ones from London that has has a group of programmers. I think he bought the product from an Indian that he saw, and then he took that, when he bought it, then he took a number of Indians to help him progress with it.
We also submitted, let me add it.
What?
We also submitted a proposal to the DevCon. The DevCon is an international conference in in the university, Nova Southern University. We submitted a proposal that is about AI callers and video recognition, and we submitted a PixieBot in the description of our conference. So if they will accept it,
we'll showcase it.
We'll showcase your application.
But the thing is, PixieBot, it's really focusing on a niche, and basically developed it really for the blind and low vision community. That is where my pure focus has been on. And actually now this is the first time I've been interviewed quite a few times, but it has always been for podcasts for blind or low vision users. But
I see it. I see it as having more applications than.
For podcasts for.
Do I hear you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see it as having, one is for, vision impaired or for the blind. I like the way that you're using it with also Meta glasses, that, you can communicate with the Meta glasses and tell Meta to move it, to PixieBot and then to recall. But I see it even, did you think about it, for security cameras?
Well, again, what a lot of blind users are doing is, getting their doorbells videos described, and then they know, okay, this person is there, or this is happening, and otherwise they have no idea what is going on.
Right. But I think it's even good.
Any specific doorbell that is compatible with your software?
Which doorbells are compatible, or how are they doing that?
To be honest, I don't know, because PixieBot can accept any video, so they just export the video from their doorbell, or they drop it through their phone, and then they let PixieBot describe it.
I'm thinking about even as being maybe an added feature to a lot of these security cameras, because many times, let's say you're even in India and you have something in the Netherlands or somewhere, that sometimes it can speak to you what they see, in front of it, rather than you don't have time to look at it, or even, you're busy, of doing it, but it can describe it. So I can see that it's an added, instead of just a picture or a little video where I see, in past tense, someone basically, stealing a package from my front door or something, or I have an intruder, that it will see, I see two men walking around your living room.
especially for exceptions. Let's say that you have property in the Netherlands, but you are in India, and nobody should be inside the property at the time that you are not there. So just when somebody comes in there, fire it up. And we're also working with the AI callers, which is like 800 chat GPT. Are you familiar with that? So you can call an AI,
But it's just in the United States.
and it can make also inbound and outbound calls. So it can call you to India and tell you something unusual happens, and this is a minute video clip of who is wandering in your apartment or in your house.
Right.
So
The
we have about 100 students, and we are afraid to unleash them on your app, and you don't want to bring your server down or anything. So we would like to coordinate it with you to make sure that we don't cause any harm.
Yeah, because we've done that prior to a lot of ones that are doing those personal AIs. And when they came in, when the founder came into the class to give a demonstration, they realized they never had 40, even 50 people at one time on their server.
We are working with VAPI for AI callers, and we have 100 students all trying to hit the VAPI server all at the same time during the class, and the server went down.
Yeah.
So we don't want to cause any problems.
We don't want to give a wrong impression where your regular, paying customers will see that it's down. So we always want to be careful on that. But to give you feedback.
These are relevant issues. It's in my case, well, it really depends on the languages that you use. It could bring the server down, because most of the languages are hosted by on the different services that can manage it easily. But some languages like Portuguese.
No, we're using English mainly.
Yeah, we're using just English.
Our standard is English.
Okay.
Another thing is,
English is never a problem.
We're using straight English.
The app is very popular in Brazil, for instance, and there, of course, you have many Portuguese-speaking users.
Yeah.
So that,
Have you ever been to Miami?
Yes.
So we're basically the Latin American headquarters. You know what I mean? We're not even the United States. Officially we are, but
also for universities.
Actually, I think that the climate in Florida and the climate here in Kerala, where I am, is very similar.
Yeah, humid,
very
right?
Humid.
Right, very humid, right? Yeah.
I wanted to tell you something. Universities in the United States are required by law to give the disabled an opportunity to equalize the gap. So every major university has a disability department, and they are required to pay to equalize the gap between the blind and the seeing, for example. So it will be good to target them and to make it a standard, so all the blind in the blind center will know that they can download this application and maybe sponsor it through the disabilities office.
I know that I'm lacking very much contacts in that space.
The ADA.
Where you could help, because most of my competitors or who was they're basically they're all heavily funded by charities or whatever.
Like Microsoft with Seeing AI.
Yeah, right now Seeing AI is Microsoft, of course, and that is but that Microsoft system, it's almost like a hobby project. But you have Be My Eyes, which is actually the biggest player, but they have a turnover of a few million, or I think something like $34 million. This is huge in our space. This is, they know that, considering that, compared with the Googles and the Microsoft and
small change.
The Metas, they're all very small fry. Yeah, that's true.
Also, Envision. Are you familiar with Envision?
Envision, yeah. Envision is actually runs by yeah, a guy from India who went to Holland, studied in my university, and now and started Envision. And I went from my university to India, and I started
Wow.
my company. That was an interesting, yeah, fact over there.
Yeah, and also
Yeah,
the Israeli company, you know, the Israeli company with the glasses for the blind,
You mean Orcam?
Orcam, and they just
yeah,
stopped
okay.
operation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they.
stopped the production. Yeah,
Yeah.
that also, yeah, it shows that it's hard.
Right.
And yeah, and Vision has a, well, they just basically made a deal with Google Glass to take, yeah, the old stock of the old Google Glass and then turn it into a product for the blind, and it's definitely working for them. But now you see a lot of smart glasses in the line of the yeah, following the Meta.
Right, the Meta. We went to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas
Uh-huh.
in January, and there was just tons of, competitors trying to
Chinese and all kinds of companies.
coming up with a lot of glasses that also will, talk to you and.
But nobody tries to integrate it with universities to help their disabilities office comply with the legal federal requirements. And it would be good if you can get into this space and dominate this space.
Or maybe with the veterans, when Veterans Administration. Also, we have something that was funny. We were on a train the other week, and while we were waiting for the train, there were two blind people sitting, and I asked them, do they use any technology? And they both were using the Meta glasses.
Oh, wow.
So they said it, and they teach other blind people in Miami how to use the Meta glasses. So that would be nice to incorporate maybe your Pixie Bot with that, since you work hand
there
in
is
hand
a very large operation here about the lighthouse.
for the blind, and they basically teach the blind technology.
Yeah. I've been interviewed by things related to the lighthouse, several organizations. It's a small world. Everybody knows
Yeah.
each other, and but at the same time, it's also, yeah. I mean, the market is surprisingly small. Even
Yes.
though there are 200.
It's narrow, but that's why I thought something like security cameras, that you could expand it where you would want to have like a voice description.
You have
And
to
maybe put it.
you have to make it sustainable. You have to make it sustainable. This is what stopped the operation in Israel. They just, even though he's a multimillionaire or billionaire by now because of his other app, what is it called? The car?
Mobileye.
Mobileye. So he made a lot of.
Have you heard of Mobileye? Basically, it does autonomous vehicles. So the guy that was the head of the Orcam, his first exit, and it was the largest exit, was basically for autonomous vehicles. Basically, in your car, when it tells you that there's some, you're basically moving to the left, getting out of your lane departure system. All of that is built into cars.
My brother is his chief engineer in Israel, and he sold it to Intel for $16 billion with a B, in case you cannot understand my accent. And after 2 years, they took it public for $32 billion.
1, 2 is 10.
More or less. But anyways, if you can get a market share large enough, then a company like Microsoft or one of them will acquire you and keep you in charge, but supply you with
Something like a Meta even.
everything that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you have other products besides this Pixie Bot that you're working? I saw you had some voice recorders and some other things.
Right. Well, that's actually the voice recorder is a bit of an it's an interesting story. It's a very simple app that just records only on Android, but within a very short time, it had about 7 million downloads on it. So that's very significant. However, then Google decided to do their own voice recording, and they basically stopped all entrance to that market.
Yeah, so once they decide to take it, go fight with Google. Yeah.
Yeah.
that owns
But
Android.
the apps are still there, but I'm calling them zombie apps because I'm not allowed to update them, do anything
Oh,
with
well,
them.
they prohibited you. I didn't know they would be so strong.
I can't do anything with them.
And what is their and what is that like their Google Assistant? What is taking their place? What are they called? That's taking. What does Google have then?
They basically build it into Android or into their own phones, and they just want to.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, because I saw that. I thought. Yeah, I thought that would be useful for, like you said, you got so many downloads. It's useful for people. You know,
it's still nice to sometimes I can still reach my user, so for promotion it's useful, but
just for names, but not to do that. Okay. So you.
And earlier we've been working on mainly on translation. So we've had a device, called the Travis Translator, and that was surprisingly successful. You would think that everybody has a phone, they can translate with a phone, but
Right.
a lot of people just wanted to have a simple device that translates and does nothing else.
It was a device that just translated. It wasn't an app.
No. I mean, we made the app. It was basically we just built the own the operating system. It's basically a version of Android, but we took a branch from Android and made it only specific for voice input and voice output. Which is and that's I mean, it was a few guys from Rotterdam in the Netherlands said, okay, can you make that because you have translation app, and then that was in January, and then by December of that same year we had already produced, manufactured the devices, delivered them, had a turnover of $20 million, and it was from nothing, from zero to, and then, a terrible thing happened. We were doing it through a Chinese manufacturer, and our main clients were actually in Japan, and then the Chinese manufacturer, they cut us out. They decided to copy us wholesale and directly go to the Japanese market. And then, you only get into legal issues.
Yeah, go sue the Chinese.
Right.
That's the problem.
There have been interesting ups and downs.
Right. Well, at least you have a good attitude. Yeah, and who would ever know with everybody in the world having phones that you need a separate device just for translating, but...
Do you have real-time API? Do you have real-time API? Repeat.
For
what?
You mean for the recognition in Pickybox, you mean?
Yeah. For example, when we are doing a caller AI, we connect with the real-time API
Of the voice.
with the Twilio. We get a number with the webhooks that can talk directly between the callers and the AI. And it needs to have real-time API so the conversation can sound normal.
Right. Well, that is from OpenAI, or is it the Google one?
We are using different ones. We are using VAPI. VAPI is a voice API. VAPI AI and several other developers, including also Twilio and what? Vonage.
They basically take phone numbers, and especially in the United States, they take phone numbers where they basically provision those numbers to accept LLMs.
So you can call 800 ChatGPT. We also give them
in the United States.
We also give them a vanity number, and we started by reverse engineering algorithm, like predicting the stock market, and now we are reverse engineering the Google and the YouTube algorithm to make ourselves number one worldwide. So we do it as an exercise for the students, and each student has to make a website and so on. And we wanted to give them an assignment to use your app and give you feedback about it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure where they would use it.
And then one similar, or the variant that I did was basically WhatsApp based. So you send. I mean, again, I'm only focusing on the blind and the
Right.
vision users. So they love the fact that they can, when they receive a WhatsApp photo from the family or
Yes.
whatever, or a video, they can then forward that a photo or video to the WhatsApp number, the clickable WhatsApp number, and
Yeah.
then they get a spoken message back on what is in that photo or in
Right,
that
the
video.
description. So you're
That's
using, he's using
yeah.
the phone for the WhatsApp. So basically the phone then sends it back and forth, right, to your WhatsApp. So it's
I know
their
that
number.
WhatsApp is not so popular in the United States, but in Europe and
I know, but
actually in the rest
right. The rest of the world,
yeah.
WhatsApp is it. Yeah.
It's very big.
Yeah, it's very big because of that. Yeah, it is popular here, but nothing like the rest of the world. WhatsApp, the whole world. You know, they have also all the channels and all their work, and also all their family does everything through WhatsApp. My entire European family all use WhatsApp.
Have you worked with any university in the world?
Doing any?
No, not directly. I mean, when I do in the past, but not now.
Not now. So, what's your biggest challenge?
Going forward.
The biggest challenge is finding the right audience. I mean, everybody who uses the Wikibot loves it. All these blind users, I mean, I've never had an app where, for instance, if you look at the European and American users, 1 out of 3 users of Wikibot who gets the free version then upgrades to the pro version. 1 out of 3, which is
wow, it's amazing. It is who has such a big upgrade to 1 out of 3 basically paying. Everybody kind of stays on the free version. They said that's enough.
This is why we think it is absolutely fantastic, and it will be a huge service to the public to know about it.
I also think for security that if you could set it up, you know, let's say where we were in the background and this was, you know, this is the background that just is at the university. We're not at the university, but if somebody was roaming around there, rather than just looking, but if they would just say, hey, there shouldn't be anybody here on campus or something, there's somebody roaming around, he's wearing a black shirt, you know, he has brown hair, he has, you know, he's carrying a backpack.
And you know, and just for exception, it wouldn't strain the server because 99.999, nothing happens.
You know, it's just like the exception, not to repeat it all the time, not to be constant, but just when there's an exception, you know, setting up exception rules, you know, between 12 midnight and 7 a.m. there shouldn't be anybody in the building, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, I do believe there is a lot of potential in video analysis.
Yeah, I do, yeah. And in searching, right? Basically when you think about it, that's what everybody's working on too, is video analysis.
Like what happened in Gaza, when all of a sudden 5,000 terrorists came through the fence, broke the fence and came through, and it took them 12 hours to respond.
But there are lots of opportunities. But my main focus is still on I want to stick to.
Yeah, you want to stick to what you know and get that done rather than
you want to focus. You want to focus on the target.
Focus on the target, and also, you know, your target really, it's useful for your target, and they convert at such a high rate. If you can get more people that are know about it, then you'll do well.
Right. The only thing is that like I said, there may be a lot of blind people in the world, but there are not so many. What my colleagues in Be My Eyes said, there are not so many connected blind. Actually, a lot of blind people are very isolated.
Yeah, they're not even using. I was telling you that these 2 guys on the train, that's what was their job. They were training them on, and they knew all the technologies. You know what I mean? I guess they were on just by them traveling. That's how you meet them. They're ready.
The fact that they had the meta glasses.
Yeah, and not even that. And he knew about and he tried out Orcam too. He tried out a number of different technologies.
They have a department for technology, specifically technology for the blind in the lighthouse in Miami.
To teach them. Maybe we can do something like that. Do like a seminar with them coming in or something. You know.
Right. Yeah, yes, all the numbers are a lot smaller, and it's very, very much focused. But I know that for the blinds, people love it. Even today, I had one of actually it's almost my neighbor here. And I took him to the office, and he is completely blind, and he was giving this feedback of like this. There are some small things like you don't even realize, like like say you have the camera button to switch between the front facing and the rear facing camera, and then he said you call that button, it speaks it out, so it says switch camera. Yeah, but I don't know whether the camera is now front facing or rear facing, so you have to make it so that right now it speaks rear facing camera, and then I change it and it says front facing camera.
We take it for right. We take it for granted. We glance down. We know that it's switched.
This is why conversational AI would be very useful, where he can talk to his phone and tell the phone to switch cameras.
Or even ask which camera am I using.
I completely agree. That is
even not switch, but which side am I using?
How it is more and more developing of how to control the phone. Look, of course, they speak about rebuilding things like you can speak with Siri and it will control people and it will do these things, but it is limited to use it's all voice control. That is very
it has to be voice control.
So your voice application and PixieBot are very complementary.
What voice application?
The voice recorder and the voice interpretation. If you can edit to
in a way, look, I've always been working with recognition, voice recognition, or video recognition, or text recognition, or anything. And this is in this case it has come down to the blind. It was mainly because about 12 years ago I made an app talking goggles. I used the Google Vision API at that time. It was very groundbreaking at that time, and then people were coming like, I can see what is in my fridge. I can control my washing machine and so on from there. It's an amazing feeling also to get this positive feedback and to know that you are making a difference.
It's valuable rather than just an entertainment game, that you're really enhancing people's lives to be more connected to the world. That's it. Because
I also made a game in between, but you're right.
It's good, but I can see it because it is really easy if you're, even if you were deaf, the idea that you can have your eyesight, we take advantage that you can see around you, you know what I mean, that it's so important, and we take it for granted. And now more and more, where people are losing, you can see that disconnection. Why it's hard to even get
for the deaf. It's a whole different thing, because actually we make software for these glasses, for the smart glasses, for the Vuzix smart glasses.
Oh, you use Vuzix?
We use Vuzix because it was easy access because you can use Android on them, and then it was like you get basically subtitles of what is going on around you. But for the deaf, that was very, very...
We met them in Las Vegas in the Consumer Electronics Show. They had the booth, and we were talking to them.
And they had translators, too, where...
In real time.
One person would be speaking English, and then it would speak... And you could see French on your glasses, in real-time translation.
We won the Vuzix prize, the developer prize, a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
Nice $50,000 price. It was all for these type of applications.
Yeah. So for the So you're doing anything with music for the blind or no?
Let me show you.
No. Yeah, we can run Piggyback on the Buddhist classes as well.
Yeah,
The problem with the Buddhist classes is that it is
yeah, but that's
somehow,
I don't know.
yeah, well, again, a very limited
Oh, okay.
market. I don't know what it is that the Buddhist classes.
Yeah, I don't know
they
either.
put
Yeah,
the software on them, and then there's just not many users.
Yeah.
This,
yeah. What?
You see, this is an Android computer. It is called wearable tablet
Yeah.
that is running Android,
It's a-
and this is a camera here and a screen. This would be something great if it could, a
Not
blind
for the
can wear it, and as they go around, not only can it record and interpret it, but it can also connect it to the cloud in real time, and when the cloud is not available, it stores it locally and then uploads it.
Yeah. But this was
This is a company, actually,
Realware.
Realware, and this device is called.
I
You know them?
I put the translation software. I provided that to
Oh,
Realware.
Oh, he provided translation,
Okay.
so you know Realware.
Yeah.
They had some financial difficulties, and they merged with another company, I think, from Denmark or something. Yeah. So and
But
who?
that's the bit of the problem that you see, that even these companies like Fruitix and Realware, they are, despite having the technology, they are still not. The marketing, I don't know.
Really, they're all having issues. And then there's something like that Meta glasses come on.
And then Meta glasses, they never intended to do anything for the blind.
Right.
They were just like, okay, we do it to publish things for Instagram and that
Right.
publish stories, and then it was
But this guy loved it. You know, the blind guy, by chance, he just loved it. He said it helps him so much walk around, you know, and he's connected. Think about it.
I think that Meta is also understanding that what they have there, but I now see again, like the new Meta glasses they are announcing, they now have them trees in them, and they are expensive. And all the things that the blind don't want to hear.
No, they just want something simple. Just tell me what's around me. Right.
Right.
Talk to me about what's around me. That's it. Give me some connection to what I can see. Yeah. It's an interesting. So how do you think we can help you? What do you? Because that's really, if we can't help you, you know what I mean. It's nice to meet you, but you know.
Yeah. My main thing is more contacts. It's like you said, the lighthouse. If you have
the content, but much more blind. You see that, Avi?
Yeah. On that, but that is right now really my focus.
So this wouldn't help. You think, like, even to help people kind of like populate their social media, like, you know, you take a little video and then I think your descriptions are so lovely and almost enchanting, that then you could take that text and, you know, input it to my Instagram.
It's really inspiring.
You know what I mean? When I heard about my office space, you know that it's so cluttered, and you were able to give a positive spin on it, it made my day. Oh, it's cozy. That's the word.
And one thing I'm trying to add more features to it, so that, like, also for the blind, they would like to have the description of the video, and at the same time the actual audio.
I saw that you want to put the voice. You actually want to hear what was actually being talked about, but you can have it in a lower speed, right? But you'll just add addition, because sometimes you want to hear from the real source.
Like closed caption?
Right.
No, that you'd have the voice. Go ahead and explain it.
Basically, they want to have description, a spoken description of what is going on in the video while the video is playing, but they don't want to drown out the actual sound of the video as well. So I merged this.
You understand that you actually have the real sound too.
So keep the background
noise
and the foreground together.
Right, but be able to hear both almost at the simultaneously.
So you have to balance. You have to mix in real time, which is a challenge.
No, it's not mixing.
Yes. And it also has to be done on the phone. So
It's on the phone. It's
some of
reducing the
these things
volume
are a bit,
in the back, that the back
well,
doesn't
they're not powerful
overwhelm
enough.
the front.
So that's another thing.
Yeah, that you almost
Yeah.
like if somebody's speaking in the back, that you hear them as well. That you don't want to mute them in the back, but you still want a conversation. So if we had someone in the back speaking to us,
Right.
you still know, hey, you have another appointment or something. You hear that
Yeah.
as well. Plus, you hear what it's speaking in real time.
And plus, I've made it such that you can put the percentage.
Yeah, I
So
saw that.
balance
You can do
it,
like you can
You
basically,
can vary the percentage between the background and the foreground.
right, and it depends on the video too, how it's recorded. Yeah, and if there's a lot of talk.
But,
Yeah. So you're really in touch with your customers.
Yeah, the features are great, and people are all loving it. I mean, really daily, I receive messages like you have changed my life. It's amazing, and God bless you. And I mean, it is really nice. But yeah, well, the thing is, still, yeah, like it's difficult to get to the big numbers.
Yeah.
I would be very happy with my 7 million downloads with that, but the Go Recorder, I am not having anything of the kind for
So who do you think is your closest competitor?
Well, Seeing AI and Be My Eye.
And Be My Eye, how many more downloads do they have than you?
10 times as much.
And what do they have that you do not?
They have been in the field for 10 years, and their main thing is actually they connect callers with a real human being. They have 7 or 8 million volunteers around the world who will describe the video.
So they can join the session.
It's like crowdsourcing?
Right. Well, actually, it's all it's all volunteers who love to help the blind.
Wow.
So that's their strength, and then they have from there they have added AI into it. So
okay, so they originally had it with volunteers coming around and telling you what's happening. Now they put AI on top.
But to be honest, a lot of blind people are telling me, the problem is I don't want to bother a volunteer if I want to tell me whether the socks are blue or green and whether it's matching or not. I feel embarrassed, so I rather...
Yeah, you don't want to even talk to a human. Like even me, I didn't mind that the AI looked at my messy room.
Right,
I would be embarrassed, kind of saying, "Oh my goodness, this is a professor, and this is what her office looks like." Yeah.
Look, some people do love to talk with.
Yeah, it depends on the person.
That's great, but there is a market for both.
Yeah.
Did you see the notebook LM and the join function?
Do you know Google Notebook LM?
Yeah.
Did you see it, the podcast?
Do you know the beta version with the join function that you can have somebody join the discussion, volunteer, and intervene with and make it a three-way conversation?
With the AI in LLM?
Yeah,
but they're not recording that yet.
In Notebook LM, when you play it back, there is a new beta version that you click on it.
And a human can join.
A join function, and a third party that you don't even know can join and help him explain it better. And also correct the hallucinations of the AI in real time.
Yeah, but that's not. It's starting to come like that. You know what I mean? It's the beginning. It's in beta. I don't know. They don't give you a revised version, of the recording. They're still not recording, but they're throwing a lot of things out there.
The volunteers and human interaction. I mean, the way it is going, AI.
AI is it. Yeah, they'll do a better job than humans. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? We'll all be out of a job, right?
You'll look nice and you're very pleasant to be in, but the AI won't.
Yesterday I had two musicians come into my class. they record music and they write music and they produce music in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. They came up with such a great song just from one student giving the impetus. He says, what did he say? He said basically,
give me an inspirational phrase.
And the guy gave him an inspirational phrase and came up with such a nice song.
And the guy made some
in Sono.
in Sono. So one student from the class said, it doesn't really matter. At the end, everything will be okay.
No, will work out.
Work out. And he took it and he made music and everything in 2 minutes, a fantastic.
And with a cover, with the diagram. And I'm telling you, it was one of the best songs I've heard. I thought it was.
You can play it to him so you can hear.
All right. I have to go find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just things like that. So you're on the right track. I understand what you want to do. We got to get going here. But think about how we could possibly, you can even write to us. Now you have all our information. You have my email.
And sustainability is the main objective. You should make it sustainable financially so it can last.
Avi's also, he's an accounting professor. So he's always looking at the business angle of it,
No. That's also, I'm right now, I'm really balancing because I have to use all these engines, and especially for the speech, with the text to speech, I'm using all these different models for different languages because actually text to speech, if you use OpenAI for that, or 11 Labs, even worse. It's terribly expensive. You can't do that. So you have to, and in the end now we are running it ourselves on our own server, and that makes financial sense. To
sometimes because you don't have that number of users that you have to worry about. Yeah.
Right, but even then we could upscale if we do.
Yeah, no, you can always upscale once you got it for the development. So what is your next? So you you have another product, or you're continuing on this product with the Pixie Bot?
I'm continuing on this product and really trying to to optimize it. There are so many engines running in the background, and also like I said, if you have live AI, that is the thing that most of the blind want. They want to have a live assistant next to them, telling them anytime what is going on around them, just like a human being would. And that is still, I mean, it is now in beta for the Google glasses. The Meta glasses, and you see it. It's there also OpenAI, even Google has it to a degree. It's not great yet, but that's
going to get there.
Really be the next step for the blind. Not images. I mean, I was actually the first that is video descriptions, but now it will be live.
Live when I'm walking, I'm not taking a picture and getting it back. You're telling me as I'm walking, there's a table in front of you. Yeah.
Right.
And there's 3 people, and there's
that, but again, it's pricey, and at the same time you have to try.
And in another year, and that's the idea of what are your competitors? It's almost like your voice recorder in a time, then they'll kick you out of the market like that. You don't want to be in that sense like what they did with your voice recorder. You can't be on Android now.
No, that is the risk. The risk is just that the company like Meta will say, okay, fine, these glasses are working so well, we'll just do this for all the blind in the world, and we'll go big on that, and then
versus taking you and saying, Exit will buy you, right? And you work for Meta.
That would be nice.
And that is what happened with Mobileye. You have to look at companies like Mobileye, that a company like Intel bought them for 16 billion, and for Intel 16 billion is nothing. But for this company it made a huge difference, and then they kept it for 2 years and almost doubled it in value to 32 billion. A company that started from zero just a few years ago.
It's 20 years ago.
Doesn't matter.
But anyways, you can see it. So think about how we can help you. Now, first of all, we made the introduction. You know us. And we're impressed by what you've done.
And
You
if
know?
they accept my proposal in this DevCon, I'll keep you posted. And if you want to join, you're welcome to come in on Zoom.
Hear about the app, even if they are not blind.
Yeah, even if they're not blind, that they can see it. Right.
And in we can assign it to a homework assignment, so we'll get about 100 students during the class, and then let them go over it. And when they give us feedback, invite you as a guest speaker to listen to the feedback of them.
Yeah. Is there any reason they should get? Maybe they can just use your free version. You don't have to upgrade them.
Right.
Your free version is good enough. They have one. And they have enough chats there. You don't need to.
Even the free version is quite powerful.
Yes.
You can also do follow-up questions, and you have you can also do video descriptions. Only short videos, but it does give a video description. So the free version is a good.
Yeah. So maybe we'll expose them to that, and then we can give you feedback. You know, and then maybe one thing we can, if we have time, or even next semester, we can invite you in as a guest speaker, just like here to our students.
But make it interesting. Also, look, for instance, I can give lifetime subscriptions for free for people who are contributing most, or give them an extra or something.
And then maybe we can have you come in. We can have you come in and you can demonstrate it. You know what I mean? The only thing is that it will be later in the day, because I have it like around 4 p.m.
Miami time.
So what is it you're in the morning now?
No, it's evening.
Evening. So you're how much ahead of me? You're...
this is 9.5 hours ahead of me.
Okay.
Wow.
9.5 hours.
So if our class is from 3:30 p.m. Miami time until 8 p.m., what time will you be?
Middle of the night. Middle of the night.
You don't want to wake up in the middle of the night.
And I don't want you to either. You know, it's not worth it. But anyways, okay, we can keep it. And you know what we can do also, in a more reasonable time, we can make a video. And we can record it, me and you at a more reasonable time, and then we can show it to the students. You know, you don't have to have live the students, you know. To set up a time where you can...
Also, to be honest, I don't mind. I mean, a midnight session is still okay, but if it's just 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning...
No. It's too much.
It's too much. It's way too much. No, I don't even want a midnight session for you. You know, it's not worth it. But what we can do is find something like we do here where it's 9:30 or something, that we can do another noon session. We can record it. You can demonstrate all your PixieBot, and then I can upload it, and then I can send you the link where you could use it however you thought.
We can store it on the cloud and then send you the link.
You know what I mean? And then we could send you the link, and then you could feel free to edit it or do anything else with it, you know? Or take clips of it.
It would be amazing. Really, the more people talk about it.
Yeah, no, I understand. So we'll reach out to you, and we'll see that maybe we can set up, I think, like you could show a demonstration of all the activities, you know, of your PixieBot, and you can demonstrate it better than we can. We just took certain, you know, just shots.
And what you want to get most importantly, what you want to get feedback from a group. What is it called? The testing group? A focus group. What do you want them to focus about and give you feedback about?
Yeah, right. You can test that out.
Yeah. Well, you could. Even simple things like what type of language, what type of voice do you prefer?
Right.
What is,
think about different questions that, besides doing it, I want it not that you're giving something to us, but what can we give back to you? You understand? So you can even set it up. These are our 5 questions that when you review this product, you have to come up with comprehensive
If you can give us questions that you are interested to find the answer, we'll give it to them in advance, and when we teach them, we will start a discussion in real time when it's still fresh in their mind during the class time.
Yeah, or they can write it down or something like that, you know, and submit it to you.
Yeah. The only thing is that most of the questions, it's mainly for my focus group is really.
It's really the blind people.
I know.
Because it's like, you know, he was inventing something for people in a wheelchair. So we have a friend who's disabled in a wheelchair, and he told him, this isn't going to work. What happens when I want to go to the bathroom? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simple things that we didn't think about, but I can't use this because I can't get out of the,
You know, I'm a disabled veteran, so I was in a wheelchair for a while, but
many years
that
ago.
was 60 years ago, and I wasn't. And then I did this app, and when I invited the real disabled in a wheelchair, I learned a lot.
You know, and they say, this is my, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing with the blind, that you don't think about it, you know? And I guess it's also probably their, yeah.
There are also quite a few veterans
I'm sure there are quite a few, but
who are using pickleball.
yeah, well, I'm sure all the veterans that get blown up or something with their eyes. Yeah, and I'm sure almost that would be good even for the VA here. We have a Veterans Administration hospitals, you know, a whole thing that they're getting into those sometimes of them supporting. Okay, well, it was nice to meet you. Think about how we can work together, and at least I'm impressed by your tenacity that you keep on going. And how did you even get into the blind? Let me just ask you that. Why did you even?
No, and that's what I said. I mean, I just made an app earlier that was, I didn't really make it for the blind. I thought, oh, it's fun for people to have their photos spoken out to them. And then the blind came to me like, hey, this is amazing.
Yeah, it was like frivolous for normal people, but it became really essential for the blind. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. And it's the same thing as what's happening with the meta glasses. They don't realize, oh, it's something fun to do, and oh, it's the Ray-Ban.
Yeah,
cool
right.
And then for the blind, it's actually amazing. And,
no,
essential. It is essential.
No, once they have it, they see how essential. They wouldn't have never even imagined it until it came. Yeah, where we have many people that have the meta glasses, and they're all pleased with it, but they can live without it. You know. Yeah, it's entertaining. Okay, great.
So keep us posted if you have ideas, and we will send you our suggestions.
And anytime you want to, feel free to get in touch with us. You can also, you know, it was an honor to meet you.
So thank you, and this is and really good to
And of course, if you come to Miami, let us know, and we will host you here.
Right, you know.
Not for now.
I know, not from India. But we have many people from India as well. Okay. It's good to come here in the winter. In January, February, it's good.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
Yes. Same here, actually.
Right. Okay. Take care, my dear.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay. You want to stop you'll be in charge of the recording for the
Fine.
Loom and for MSN.
Fine.
Record,
I can relax already. You
Okay.
did a lot of work.
How was it?
It was just great.
You do a good job at that.
Yeah.
Delightful, no?
Right.
Can you be any more delightful?
No. So now that we finished, we're going to wrap it up.
Did you take my phone?
No, here it is. Oh, I saw it here, yeah. So we can close. Did you get that, the YouTube URL, Sarah? Did you, how can I get it?
Yeah. Hold on. Can you move?
Yeah.
Let me just show you.
How late was it there?
It was 9:30. It's 9 hours ahead. 9:30 at night.
Oh, this is it? Okay.
This was it.
This browser. Let
Big
me...
meeting with Dr. Rush in it.
Okay, fine. Fixing well. Oh, it's ended already?
Yeah. It's New York.
Oh. So we had the summary, and then I scroll down to add chapters and save, and then add tags. First one video, second one Google, third one in, remote, plain, intelligence, inspection, lanyard, artificial. Okay, so this is it for that. What else did we not do? Sign in, view, share. So now we want to end meeting for all. Okay, so we end meeting for all. And now run to SAR. Now we want to stop MSN recorded, don't upload but playback. This works fine too. Well, that's it then. Finish off.